Potato chips, one of the most popular snack foods in the world, are deceptively simple in appearance. Thin slices of potato, deep fried until crisp, then dusted with salt and flavorings. But behind this crunchy, salty allure lies a deeply harmful food product, one that is aggressively marketed, heavily consumed, and severely damaging to long-term health. Potato chips are not just an occasional indulgence with minor consequences. When consumed regularly, they act as a slow poison, contributing significantly to the global rise in obesity, hypertension, heart disease, metabolic disorders, and even certain types of cancer. They are a quintessential example of a product engineered for taste, shelf life, and addiction rather than nutrition or wellness. At the core of the problem is their nutritional profile, or rather, the near total absence of any real nutrition. Potato chips are high in calories, but devoid of meaningful vitamins, minerals, fiber, or protein. A single small bag, often considered a snack size, can pack over 150 to 200 calories, with larger portions easily exceeding 500 calories in a sitting. Most of these calories come from unhealthy fats and refined carbohydrates. The carbohydrate content is rapidly digested and converted into sugar in the bloodstream, causing blood glucose spikes followed by crashes, which trigger further hunger and lead to overeating. This is one of the key mechanisms through which chips promote weight gain, not just because of the calories, but because of how they destabilize appetite and metabolism. One of the most harmful aspects of potato chips is their fat content. The frying process typically involves industrial vegetable oils such as sunflower, canola, or soybean oil, cheap oils that are high in omega-6 polyunsaturated fats. These oils oxidize easily under high heat, forming free radicals and toxic aldehydes that damage cells, tissues, and DNA. Repeated exposure to oxidized fats is a known risk factor for atherosclerosis, hardening of the arteries, heart attacks, and other inflammatory diseases. Even worse, if the oils are reused or poorly stored, a common practice in mass production, their toxic potential increases dramatically. Then there's the sodium. Chips are one of the leading sources of excessive salt in the modern diet. A standard bag can contain anywhere from 150 to 400 milligrams of sodium or more, depending on the flavor. Most people don't stop at just one handful, and portion sizes in restaurants and party bags are often massive. This level of sodium intake, especially when repeated daily, directly contributes to high blood pressure. The relationship between sodium and hypertension is well documented. High salt intake increases fluid retention, raises blood volume, and places enormous stress on the vascular system. Over time, this damages blood vessel walls, increases the risk of stroke, and weakens the heart muscle. Hypertension is often called the silent killer because it can go unnoticed for years until it suddenly results in a catastrophic event like a heart attack or brain hemorrhage. Potato chips, deceptively marketed as harmless snacks, are among the most efficient delivery systems of this danger. Beyond salt and fat, potato chips also carry a hidden but serious carcinogenic threat: acrylamide. This toxic chemical forms when starchy foods like potatoes are cooked at high temperatures, especially during frying or baking. Acrylamide has been classified as a probable human carcinogen by the International Agency for Research on Cancer, IARC. It is known to cause cancer in laboratory animals and is suspected of increasing cancer risk in humans, particularly for cancers of the digestive tract. Since chips are cooked at very high temperatures to achieve that crisp texture, they often contain higher acrylamide levels than nearly any other food product. The darker and crispier the chip, the more acrylamide it likely contains. This compound, absorbed cumulatively over time, is a silent yet significant contributor to long-term health risks. Chips are also an addictive food. Their texture, flavor, saltiness, and mouthfeel are engineered to hit a precise bliss point in the brain, creating a pleasurable and rewarding eating experience that encourages repeated consumption. This is why so many people find them hard to stop eating once they start. The can't eat just one phenomenon is not a joke. It's a deliberate feature of food engineering. The brain's dopamine system is activated by such foods, reinforcing cravings and habituation. The result is not just occasional indulgence, but often compulsive behavior that leads to chronic overeating and long-term damage. Children and adolescents are especially vulnerable. Potato chips are a common item in school lunches, after-school snacks, and social gatherings. This early and frequent exposure to high-salt, high-fat snacks sets the stage for lifelong, unhealthy eating habits. Childhood obesity, insulin resistance, and early-onset hypertension are now increasingly common, and potato chips, often seen as harmless or normal, are a major part of the problem. When chips are paired with other junk foods and sugary drinks, the combined metabolic impact is devastating. The problem is compounded by how easily chips displace healthier foods. When a person eats a bag of chips, they are not eating vegetables, fruits, nuts, legumes, or whole grains. They are filling up on calories that offer no nourishment and inflict real damage. Over time, this leads to micronutrient deficiencies, poor digestion, weakened immune function, and greater vulnerability to chronic disease. The cost of this substitution is not felt immediately, but it accumulates day by day, silently undermining the body's resilience and vitality. Even healthier or natural versions of chips, those made with alternative oils or baked instead of fried, still suffer from the same fundamental flaws: high salt, refined starch, and often misleading health claims. They may contain fewer calories or slightly less fat, but they are still ultra-processed, nutrient-poor foods designed more for addictive pleasure than sustenance. The perception of these products as safe or superior can be even more dangerous, as people consume them in larger quantities under the illusion of moderation. In the end, potato chips are a perfect example of a food product that has no essential place in the human diet. They are empty calories dressed up in flavor and crunch, offering nothing of value and delivering everything that undermines health. Their widespread availability and normalization have made them a dietary time bomb, small, seemingly harmless indulgences that add up to major health crises over time. For anyone concerned about their weight, blood pressure, cardiovascular health, or cancer risk, the best approach is not to cut back. It's to cut them out entirely. Potato chips are not just unhealthy, they are actively harmful. Their regular consumption is a slow, steady assault on the body's defenses, masked by the illusion of convenience and flavor. Recognizing them for what they are is the first step toward reclaiming dietary control and protecting long-term health from an industry that profits from our decline.